What is up, guys? EJ here, back with another video, and today it's going to be my Blu-ray DVD collection for 2020 and horror part 1. So yeah, horror is one of my biggest sections, so let's get into it. So first we have 28 Days Later from 2003. Yeah, really good infectious slash zombie film. Cillian Murphy, Naomi Harris. Yeah, really good film directed by Danny Boyle. And I also got the sequel, 28 Weeks Later from 2007. Not as good as the first one, but still pretty enjoyable. Up next, we have 30 Days of Night, also from 2007, with Josh Hartnett and Melissa George. Yeah, decent vampire film set in the Canada, I believe. Good backdrop of the snow and all the blood and stuff. I enjoyed that film. Up next, we have one of these many midnight movie double features that I picked up a while back. Most of them Vincent Price films. This one has The Abominable Dr. Phibes and Dr. Phibes Rises Again. The first one from 1971, I believe. The other one, 1972, I'm guessing. Alright, up next we have Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter on Blu-ray 3D from 2012. Yeah, pretty fun from what I remember. Same with Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Same sort of theme. Up next we have American Psycho, Killer Collector's Edition, of course, Christian Bale. From 2000. Yeah, Willem Dafoe. Really good film. Up next we have An American Werewolf in London from 1981. Absolute classic, of course, with David Naughton, Jenny Agutter, or Agutter, I never know how to say her name, but apparently I'm related to her, I found out. And Griffin Dunn. Fantastic movie. Alright, up next we have the Amityville Horror from 1979, the original one, with James Brolin, Margot Kidder. Yeah, I sort of enjoyed the remake with what's his name, Ryan Reynolds. I haven't really seen many of the original sequels to the Amityville Horror, but I like the first one. Alright, up next we have Anaconda from 1997 with Jennifer Lopez, Ice Cube, John Voight, Eric Stoltz. Yeah, the first film is fine. I know I've seen the second sequel. I don't know about the third. But yeah, cheesy giant snake movie. You gotta love it. Alright, up next we have Arachnophobia from 1990. Jeff Daniels, John Goodman, I believe, were in this. I remember when this came out, it was like an event horror film. I remember hearing so much about it. I mean, I was 12 when this came out, and people were talking about Arachnophobia prior to its release. It was a big deal when it came out, I remember that. Alright, up next we have As Above, So Below from 2014. Yeah, I dug this little film set in Paris, underneath the city, the catacombs, people exploring there, and sort of weird shit happens. Yeah, I dug the premise for this film. I liked it. Alright, up next we have Audition from 1999, great Takashi Miike film, 2-disc collector's edition. I don't have many Japanese horror films in my collection, but this is one of my favorites, that's for sure. Up next we have The Babadook, really good Aussie, Australian indie from like 2015, 2016. Really enjoyed it. The girl who's the female lead, I thought she gave a great performance in this. Nice sort of slipcase edition there. Up next we have Bad Taste. Yeah, Peter Jackson's Gore Fest from 1987. Crumb's Crunchy Delights. Yeah, it's a numbered edition, 15,496 out of 50,000. But yeah, this is a nice edition for bad taste. Up next we have Beetlejuice from 1988, of course, absolute classic. Michael Keaton, Tim Burton film. 20th anniversary deluxe edition. Yeah, Gina Davis, Alec Baldwin, Winona Ryder. Just a fantastic movie. Absolutely love Beetlejuice. Up next we have the Bela Lugosi collection, the franchise collection. It's got a bunch of films from like the 30s and 40s, mostly Murders in the Rue Morgue, The Black Cat. I think mainly one of the reasons I got it from 1934, The Raven, The Invisible Ray, I believe that says, and Black Friday. It's hard to read in this light. Alright, up next we have Below from 2002. Yeah, underrated film directed by David Toohey, I believe. Yeah, I liked it a lot from what I remember. Who else? Who was in this? Wow, Zach Galifianakis. I don't remember him being in this. Olivia Williams, Jason Fleming, Bruce Greenwood. Yeah, good movie set on the submarine, from what I remember. All right, up next we have The Birds, of course, Alfred Hitchcock's classic from 1963. Absolute classic, one of my favorite Hitchcock films. Yeah, with Rod Taylor and Jessica Tandy. Fantastic film. The Birds. Up next we have Black Sunday from 1961 from Mario Bava with Barbara Steele and John Richardson. Really good sort of gothic Italian horror film. Up next we have The Blair Witch Project from 1999. Yeah, this film sort of got shit on over the years, and it spawned its own sort of found footage genre all by itself. But I was a big fan of it when I first saw it. I liked it a lot. I still like it. I have seen the sequel, Blair Witch Project, Book of the Dead, I believe it's called. I mean, it was an okay sequel, but I didn't like it as much as the original. So yeah, I still like the original one. And most other found footage films that came after it, I don't really care for, to be honest. Up next, we have The Boy from 2016 on Blu-ray. Who was the chick in this? Was it Katie Holmes? I'm trying to remember. Or was she in the second one? Or I could be off. She was in one of those recent horror franchises. I didn't really care for the sequel, Brahms, The Boy 2, which came out last year. Saw a few months ago. But yeah, the first one's fine. Alright guys, moving on. Up next we have Bubba Hotep, if I can get it out here. With this really cool Elvis Presley jacket packaging. Yeah, cool film from 2002 with Bruce Campbell, if you haven't seen it, but most of you guys have. Put that up there so it's easier to work. Up next we have Cabin Fever from 2003, a really good Eli Roth film that I liked a lot. Yeah, decent film. Up next we have The Cabin in the Woods on Blu-ray, one of my favorite horror films of the past decade, from 2012. Fantastic fun, really inventive, really enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was surprising in all the right ways for your typical cabin teenage horror film. Up next we have Candyman Special Edition from 1992, of course, the original with Tony Todd, Virginia Madsen. Big fan of her as an actress in general. I believe they're making a sequel of this. Not sure about that. Up next we have the original Carrie from 1976 Special Edition. Sissy Spacek and John Travolta, of course. Classic Brian De Palma film. Big fan of Carrie. And I also got the remake from 2013. I liked it a lot with Chloe Grace Moretz and Julianne Moore. Not as good as the original, but I still enjoyed it a lot. Chloe Grace Moretz, actress I like. Julianne Moore, one of my favorites, of course. Up next, we have a Val Lewton horror double feature, Cat People from 1942, and The Curse of the Cat People as well. Up next, we have The Changeling from 1980, I believe. Yeah, really good haunted house film with George C. Scott and Trish Vanderveer. Up next, we have Chernobyl Diaries on Blu-ray from 2012. Yeah, I like this film. I've recently been watching Chernobyl over the summer. I still need to finish it. So when I was watching that, the HBO miniseries, I was thinking about this film quite a bit. Alright, up next we have another one of these Midnight Movies double feature, The Comedy of Terrors and The Raven. This is the Vincent Price version of The Raven. That's the main reason I have it, from 1963, I believe. Comedy of Terrors from 64. Yeah, both these films feature Vincent Price, Peter Lorre, and Boris Karloff. So great double feature there. Up next we have The Company of Wolves from 1984. Yeah, really interesting take on the Red Riding Hood classic. Good film directed by Neil Jordan. Yeah, I watched this in a college class. I took a class of, like, movies based on books or something. We read the book and then watched the film in that class. Okay, up next we have The Conjuring from 2013. Yeah, I like the first Conjuring a lot. I always forget these two actors' names. Vera Farmiga and I want to say like Patrick Wilson, but that could be way off. But yeah, I like the first one. Also got the sequel, The Conjuring 2 from 2016, set in England. I like that aspect of the sequel. All right, up next we have Cooties. Yeah, fun sort of kids babies type film, infecting and going crazy, and teachers led by Elijah Wood having to deal with it. Rainn Wilson, Alison Pill from 2015. I liked it. Alright, up next we have The Craft, special edition, classic witchcraft film, of course, from 1996, with Fairuza Balk and Neve Campbell, Rachel True, Robin Tunney. Big fan of the soundtrack. I have the soundtrack to this film. I've had it for a long time. Up next we have Creature from the Black Lagoon, the Legacy Collection from 1954. Yeah, I have the Legacy Collection editions of all the classic Universal monster movies. They all come with like the sequels as well. Includes Revenge of the Creature from 1955 and The Creature Walks Among Us from 1956. Alright, up next we have Crimson Peak. Yeah, film directed by Guillermo del Toro. Really good sort of gothic horror film. Great looking movie from 2015 with was Jessica Chastain the one in this? I'm trying to remember. That could be wrong. Mia Wasikowska, sort of coming to mind. Up next we have Dark Shadows, another Tim Burton Johnny Depp collaboration, of course, from 2012. I liked it quite a bit. It wasn't great, but I enjoyed Johnny Depp and Tim Burton for the most part. Next we have Daybreakers from 2010. Yeah, good little vampire action horror movie from that year with Ethan Hawke and Willem Dafoe, Isabel Lucas, Sam Neill. Some interesting take on the vampire genre. Up next we have Dead Alive, another Peter Jackson classic, of course, from 1992. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Peter Jackson's early work when it comes to these horror movies, of course, because I'm such a huge Lord of the Rings fan. But to see his start in this genre when he started out is very, very interesting. Alright, up next we have this 2-disc set of Dead of Night and the Queen of Spades. Dead of Night is the main reason I have this, from 1945. Alright guys, moving on down. Up next we have Dead Snow, 2-disc special edition. Yeah, really fun zombie, Nazi zombie film from 2009. Okay, up next we have Deep Blue Sea from 1999. Yeah, fun shark film, of course, with Thomas Jane and Saffron Burrows, I believe. Who's not on here because she's like the main lead. Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson, great surprise with him. Michael Rappaport, always enjoy him as an actor. LL Cool J, the always stellar Stellan Skarsgård. Up next we have The Descent, original unrated cuts from 2006. Fantastic film. Definitely one of my favorites by Neil Marshall. Up next we have Devil from 2010. Yeah, good little film that M. Night Shyamalan produced. Not one of his best, but it was certainly sort of a bounce back after he had some tough breaks with the likes of The Happening and The Lady in the Water. Two films I wasn't really a fan of. Alright, up next we have Dog Soldiers, another great Neil Marshall film from 2002. Yeah, terrific film that. Great werewolf movie. Up next we have classic double feature, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, the 1932 version with Frederick March, and also got the 1941 version with Spencer Tracy, Ingrid Bergman, and Lana Turner. Up next we have Don't Breathe from 2016. Yeah, good little film from what I remember over the past recent years. Up next we have Dracula, of course, the classic Bela Lugosi from 1931. Again, the Legacy Collection. This one comes with let's see, Dracula's Daughter, 1936, Son of Dracula, 1943, and House of Dracula, 1945. Alright, up next we have End of Days from 1999. I really enjoyed this film a lot with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Gabriel Byrne is the devil, really good in this. Good sort of action horror movie, really. End of Days. Alright, up next we have My Evil Dead, Book of the Dead editions. Yeah, Evil Dead, Sam Raimi's classic, of course, from 1982. This one starting to fray on the spine here, but yeah, there you go. Evil Dead, Book of the Dead. And sadly, my Evil Dead 2 copy is even worse off. From 1987. I don't think the eye thing works anymore. Yeah, it used to make like a scream when you press the eye. Yeah, it's a shame about these two editions. That they're sort of fraying. But oh well. And of course I got Army of Darkness, Screwhead edition from 1993. Classic Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell, of course. Alright. Up next we have The Exorcism of Emily Rose from 2005, I believe, with Laura Linney and Tom Wilkinson. Yeah, good exorcism film. But a poor man's version of the granddaddy of them all for exorcism films, of course, The Exorcist from 1973. William Friedkin's classic, one of the all-time great horror films of all time. Fantastic movie. Ellen Burstyn, Max von Sydow, Linda Blair, and so on. Alright, up next we have another midnight movie, Vincent Price film, The Fall of the House of Usher from 1960. Yeah, big fan of all these great Vincent Price films from the 60s and 70s. Up next we have Fallen from 1998, I believe. I remember going to see this in the theater when it came out. Yeah, John Goodman and Denzel Washington. Yeah, good little film from what I remember. Alright, up next we have the Final Destination franchise. The first one from 2000, really good film. Devon Sawa and Natalie Lauder, Kerr Smith, Sean William Scott. Liked the first one a lot. And then they progressively got worse, but I have them all. Final Destination 2 from 2003, and it would be weird to end in the middle of my Final Destination. So I'll just keep going until the end of these, and then we'll end this video. So Final Destination 3 from 2006. The Final Destination from 2009, or Final Destination 4 if you like. And lastly, we'll end here, Final Destination 5 in Blu-Ray 3D from 2011. So that is horror, part 1. Up next will be part 2, of course. Thank you for watching as always, and until next time, I'll see you.
Bond. James Bond.